Algebra 1 Study Guide number 10, number 1. Simplifying, actually this is going to be numbers 1 through 4. Simplified expression. You can't cancel or simplify unless you have multiplication. And so in this case I have two binomials. I have two trinomials that I'm going to factor into binomials. With a leading coefficient of 1, I can just do the x, and I can just use the numbers. I can put the 80 up here, and I need an 18 here, and I need the two numbers that will multiply to be 80 and add to be 18. Well, you've got 1 times 80, 2 times 40, 4 times 20, and I believe the two that we need are 8 and 10. So that will factor into x plus 8 and x plus 10. And in this one, again, I'll do the x, and I have a 56, and I have a 15. Well, I need numbers that will multiply to be 56 and add to be 15, which are 7 and 8. So I have x plus 8 and x plus 7. Now I can cancel. I take the whole binomials, and I'm left x plus 10 over x plus 7. Number 2. Again, I have a trinomial and with a leading coefficient of 1. So I'm looking for factors of 18. That would be my top number that multiply to be 9. So you've got 1 times 18 and 2 times 9 and 3 times 6, which will give you a 9 in the middle. So I've got x plus 3 and x plus 6. Now this is not a trinomial, but it does have a GCF as a binomial. So I'm going to take out a 3b, which would leave me a b in this one, and it will leave me a 6 in this one, because I'm taking the b away from both, and I'm taking the 6. 3 times 1 is 6. I'll even put the 1 there, and 3 times 1 is 3, and then 3 times 6 is 18. b plus 6 is cancel, and I'm left an x plus 3 on top and a 3b on the bottom. Now these can't cancel because this is this is multiplication, the whole x plus 3. I can only cancel that if I cancel the whole thing. Number 3 again is two trinomials. So I'm looking for numbers that will multiply be 21, but they have to be a negative 10. So 1 and 21 and 3 and 7, so it'll have to be negative 3 and negative 7. R's, let's start to put x's. And then on this one, I'll go ahead and put my R's. I need factors of negative 28, which will give me a negative 3. Well, you can pretty much figure it's going to be 4 and 7, but you've got to figure out which way those add to give you a negative 3. So it would have to be positive 4 and negative 7. And you can see these cancel, and that leaves me R minus 3 over R plus 4. Number 4. Again, two trinomials, so I'm going to, but we like them because they have a coefficient of 1. So I'm looking for factors of 100 that will give me 20. Well, 100 has a lot of them. 1 times 100, 2 times 50, 4 times 25, and actually the one I'm looking for is 10 times 10. And then the factors of negative 30, I'm going to try to leave some room because I'm going to need it for some of these down here. Factors of negative 30 that will give me a 7. Well, I think 1 times 30, 2 times 15, I believe you can see that it's going to be 3 times 10. And to add to be a positive 7 and multiply to be negative, this one has to be your positive and this one your negative. So it's going to be x minus 3 and x plus 10. And one of these is gone, and I have x plus 10 over x minus 3. Number 5, now I'm doing multiplication. So I have, in this case I only have one trinomial, the rest of these just have GCFs. And actually, if you recognize it, you will see these are going to cancel, but I'm going to go ahead and factor them just for the practice. So we'll take our GCF out here, and I'm going to go ahead and take it out down here since it's the same thing. Now this one I'm going to take a 4, and they both have x squared, which will leave an x minus 4. And then this one is back to our trinomial, and I have a negative 24 and a positive 2. So 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 4 and 6 will give me a negative 24, one of them negative, and to be positive, this one's got to be the negative, x minus 4 and x plus 2. Now we can see our 6's are gone, our x minus 7's are gone, our x minus 4's are gone, and we're left 4x squared on top and an x plus 2 left on the bottom. Number 6, kind of covered up my number there. Okay, 5's fine, and then the numerator, the denominator has a GCF. So 5's just a number. That's all I need for that one. This one has a GCF of 8. And then this one's going to be x, we can do our x with a 9 and a 6, which would be plus 3. I better use n's instead of x's. N plus 3, n plus 3. And then this one, you can barely read that. And then this one has a GCF of 9. So n plus 3 is gone, and then this n plus 3 is gone, and I have a 5 left on top and a 72 left on the bottom. Number 7, still multiplication, and we have GCF on top. We can take out a 9. And on the bottom, let's see, I believe we can take out a 7, a 7b, and we'll have 2b minus 9. And on this one, we can take out a 10. And this one is just a 10. We can write it 2 times 5 if we want to. Now, our 2b minus 7s are gone. 2b minus 9s are gone. Our 10s are gone. We've got a 9 left on top and a b plus 2, and we've got a 7b left on the bottom. Now these b's can't be canceled. I could only cancel b plus 2 if there was a b plus 2 on the bottom. Number 8, again multiplication. So we've got a trinomial. I think I'm going to try to squeeze it in under here. And I need factors of 80. We were doing 80 a while ago, but now it's a negative 80. I'll put my x right here. Negative 80, negative 2. So it's got to be an 8 and a 10. And this one will be negative and this one positive. Now, I probably can do it faster than you can, but you're seeing the steps. It just takes a lot of experience to be able to do it quickly. So I've got b plus 8 and b minus 10. But you can stop the video, take your time doing the steps. This one has a GCF of 8. And then b plus 1 has a GCF of 1. And then 10b plus 100 has a GCF of 10. So b plus 10s are gone. B minus 10s are gone. I've got a b plus 8 left on top. And I'm going to put that in parentheses. And I have an 8 times 10 left on the bottom. Now these next 4 are division problems. So when you divide KFC, keep the first one, flip the second one, and change it to multiplication. So I'm going to factor at the same time as I flip the second one, as I change it to multiplication. This one has a GCF of 3a. This one's already multiplication. Reciprocal, a plus 1 has a GCF of 1. And then this one we can do the x. Let's do that over here. We've got a negative 16 and a positive 6. Let's see, 8 and 2. Okay, positive 8 and negative 2. Okay, a plus 8s are gone. A minus 2s are gone. Now, you may want to go ahead and write it and then reduce it. But the 3 over 60 will reduce to 1 over 20. And you have an A and then 2 A's on the bottom. So you'll have an A left over when you cancel. And I'm not going to mark that out. I think it'll just be easier to see that you're just reducing those, canceling one of the A's, and have an A left on the bottom. Okay, number 10. We've got 3 GCFs and then a trinomial. So I'll just start right here. GCF, trinomial. Now I can already see it's going to be 9 and 10. I've just got to figure out which way the signs go. Let's go over here and do that. I've got let's see, what's my number? Negative 90 and positive 1. So it's got to be 9 and 10, but they need to add to be positive. So this one needs to be positive and that one negative. So I'll have n minus 9 and n plus 10. Now times, and then we need to bring this one to the top, and it has a GCF of 2n. And this one also has a GCF of 2n. Now my n minus 9s are gone. My n plus 10's gone. Now you can cancel the 2's just about any way you want to. I'm going to take these 2 and then these 2 n's. And if I'm looking at it correctly, there's a 2 left on top and an n minus 3 left on the bottom.